Good afternoon. Do you know I say that a lot, and I've said it at least 371 times now. So that's the tile we're on today. Bit groggy and grey over here in Scunthorpe, but not too bad because we're getting a few bits and pieces done in the office, and it's starting to look a little bit more like home now. So yeah, taking a little bit of time out to do a tile today. I did actually lose my white chalk pencil yesterday. I found it. It was on the floor in the green room. So here it is. I've got it back. Oh, not to worry. But yeah, what have I got today? Okay, regular white, just a white tile. I've decided not to ink it or anything like that. I'm going to keep it quite sort of simple today and see where we go from there. We could always ink it after if we want to. So regular pen, pencil, tortillon, coloured pencils around if I want them. So yeah, have I got a tortillon? Yes, I have. That's okay. It's a good job I've got like a basic kit that I like to keep everything in just in case. But all's here. All's good. So are we ready? Okay, I'm going to start straight away with a pen. So 03 pen. Again, if you prefer to do this in pencil first, please don't worry about it. That's absolutely fine. You do whatever is comfortable for you. So are we good to go? Okay. So let's go a bit larger so you can see what I'm doing. There you are. Okay. First things first then. I'm going to start in, let's say the corner, not right in the corner, but I'm going to come out and create a bit of a curve and round. And then I'm going to come back on myself. So you just take your time. If you feel you need to, stop. And then come back in and carry on. Okay, I'm going to go completely off the tile for that one. All right, so I'm going to do another. Now, to do it this way, really awkward for me. Probably great for you, being right-handed if you are. So I'm going to come in from this side and I'm going to put one in this way. So I find that so much better in terms of comfort there. There you go. Round it goes, and then back underneath and off the edge of the tile. There you are. So, okay, hi everybody. Oh, don't worry if you can't stay. I know Saturday's an odd day to do a tile, but I didn't want us to miss out because I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. So it's nice sometimes. Again, people like Tracy, hi Tracy, can't do it during the week. So it's nice that you can get in today and do one of these sort of live. But just remember as well, when I do it live, I am working a little bit quicker. But if you feel that you need to, just do a sketch of it and then you can take your time a little bit later on when you you want to. So don't think you've got to rush it because of me. Okay. Oh, thank you, Chris. I had lots of fun creating Halloween Hollow, and it's sort of becoming one of those things that I'm embroiled in, so it's sort of just a part of what I do, so I'm glad you like it. Oh, okay. Oh, Joe, gosh, no, I've not done those tile pads. And around in we go. And again, off the edge. Okay. All right. Oh, hi Chris, hi Alison. Oh, Easter, gosh, Chris, I know. There's so many things happening, there's so many things going on at the minute, isn't there? It's just one week into the next, and we're just sort of loving what we're doing. A minute. Right, same with this one. So I've got sort of a couple of these in all corners. And along we go. And back off, okay? So we've got that kind of a shape. Okay. So next thing, I want to put a border in. I'm going to bring a tile in to do that. So not too close to the edge. What I want to do is create it so it goes almost like underneath all these other shapes that we've got going on here. and then turning it round and sitting there. Okay, so again, oh, I'm going to have to guess where that line is. Yeah, that's okay. I can always come and change it later if I need to. See, then under wherever it catches, even there, look. All right, let's have a look at that. Oh, Vicky, you got the dotty one. Yeah, really nice, that. Really nice little one to play with. It's just a little bit of fun, that one. All right, so there we are. So far, so good. We've got our 4 little cornerstone. We've got our border in there. So I want to come and do something else with this now. And I'm going to start. Doesn't matter which one. We're going to do this similar in all of them. So if I enlarge a little bit, and in the middle there, I'm going to come in and I'm going to put almost like a pointy leaf or a petal shape, whatever you want to call it. And let's do one this side. Notice that's a little bit smaller, and I'm going to go underneath it there because it doesn't want to come down here. And then in and along that one. You see, a bit smaller. So let's do that with all of them, so we sort of get into that mode of drawing these shapes. And you'll notice that I want to try and keep them pointed. So the middle one, I do go from bottom all the way to top. But with this one, because you can't really get in there, I'm going to go in that one there. And next one, in we go there. Oh, join the point. Then along, see, I can't quite get there, so I'm going to come back down from there. And then this one. Into there. And then one more, all the way up there. To the point, and one on either side. There we go. Okay, so far so good. There you go. So looking at the shapes that we've just created there, I want to put a little line on the inside. Now, it depends on how big your little petals are. You might get 1 in, you might get 2 in. We'll put one down the middle. You might get 3 or 4. Okay. So I'm going to do the same on this side. See, I'm going to do one either side first, see how far that gets me, and then fill the rest of the space up. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Yeah, Dobby was quite funny yesterday. And his little pumpkin outfit. Yeah. He's yeah, he must be the best dressed elf around. He must be. I know, he did look cute. He did want that hat taken off though. He was like, get the hat off. Get that. And I think it's lovely how the crew and everybody sort of gets involved with it. They're really funny. It's really nice to have that environment where you can be a little bit, you know, a little bit silly. Or a lot in some people's cases. There you go. All right. Oh, Sarah, you onto the cats. I haven't done any drawing today. I've been covering doors. And putting some pictures in frames and things. Because, of course, we're updating all our gallery here. So there's pieces of artwork that are coming out that you won't have seen before, which is quite nice to change them up out a bit. Okay. So I'm going to stick with the line kind of theme, and looking at my space here, I'm going to put some little curves. You see how the curves sort of go upwards towards the middle? Oh, Louise, you have to have a look for him. I'm dressed as a pumpkin. It was a little bit odd doing Halloween yesterday, and I must admit, in my my skirt, it was quite quite warm because there were quite a lot of layers to it. But it was nice to sort of dress up a little bit. to come in with my little brush pen now. And again, if you want to use a thicker pen, you can do so. And I'm going to just sort of put in those stripes in there. Adding those little black lines in there. Don't use your O3 for this, certainly not your O2. Rose, on this occasion, Leslie made it. She got her sewing machine out. Because to be honest, at the moment, over the last sort of, I don't know, 6 months or so, Leslie's had trouble getting anything out of her craft room because she's been having a lot of work done in the house. But now all her craft room's done and sorted. And mine's in a bit of a state. It's all my paper crafting I've moved to the office. And all the sewing's sort of still in piles at the at the house, which I need to get sorted. So she was a little bit better equipped to do it than I was this time. She's made him a fabulous outfit for class as well. So there you go, there's our stripes. So whichever way you do those, it's fine. You can use a pen, coloured pencils, whatever you want, but we want that blackness there for a little bit later on. Okay, back to my regular pen. So I'm going to come in now, there's my space in the middle. I'm going to create, let's have a look. Oh, before I do that, let's put some little stamens in here. So I'm just going to go a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to put a little bobble on the top like this. And come back down again. So I'm going to get a couple of those in on each side. See, this one, you're going to sort of lose it underneath that one. That's fine. And that one. In we go. Okay. Next bit, up and around, down. So I'm sort of stopping each time I go. So I'm going up and then around and then down. So it's almost like I'm doing it in sort of 3 modes or three stages. I just think that the bubble at the top there is going to look a little bit better if we do it that way. Or you can try it another way. And you could do those 2 first if you want, and then that on the top. But I find I get a little bit flatter if I do it that way. Let's do that one there. And then around. And along we go. Round again. And down. And up. And around. And down. So I'm getting 2 in there. You might want to do 3. Or if you think, oh, I'm going to do little line flicks or anything like that. And the reason I've done that kind of bobble, because then I want to come in and draw a little line, a little aura around the shape that I've got there. And sort of fill it in a bit like so. Just, you know, take your time, turn it as you're going. Oh, Wendy, you could. Why don't you actually put it underneath your camera? Switch your camera on, and you know, see if that works. And you can enlarge it. And it takes a little bit of practice to actually look through the camera rather than actually at your tile. But you get used to it ever so quickly. There we go. I'm going to see if I can fit in now a row of bubbles on the inside there. We're very definite then have an edge, don't we? And again, you know, give them the time they deserve. Any little gaps, see that this one here coming up. I'm going to fill that bottom section with a bit of ink. And sort of kind of keep it going. Filling those little bits with ink if you can't get in there, and coming around with bubbles. Sort of gives it a nice little edge. Yeah, see, just putting that round there, all the way along. to the edge there. Okay, let's have a little look at this. Okay, so we've definitely got that bottom edge in there. Okay, so let's have a look at these larger sides around here. And again, I'm not going to aura around this edge. I'm going to start from that edge. I'm going to come around and create a shape. So whatever it ends up being, depends what you've drawn. And I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm going to stop it about there, look. And then come back. And draw that in. Okay. And then, just so I don't forget where that line is, I'm going to come in with little bubbles again. Just on the inside section. And again, just give it the attention they deserve. Just take your time with them. And there. I'm going into that little gap there and coming back out. Fill that little bit in. And then around. So, okay. Yeah. So, let's do this one. Along and down and in. And again, I'm going to fill it with bubbles. Just around that edge. Yeah, see, filling those little bits with ink there. And the next one, put up there and around and along. So I'm going to slightly round that edge and down. So who's going to take part in the tiny tile a day kind of sessions that we're doing? It's all about, you know, getting into a craft. I know we're sort of already into this, but about just taking some time out for yourself, for, 5-10 minutes every day. And if you've never seen what we've done before, we did 2 Advents. So last December and the December before, we did a tile a day. So they're tiny tiles, so they're only 5 centimetres, which makes it a lot more manageable. And we put them together, all sort of mixed the numbers up, so you weren't getting one exactly side by side every time. And then it made a larger picture. So we're going to do that for September. So if you've seen the hashtag Craftember, that's what it's all about. Oh, and I haven't actually got any tiny tiles on the website at the minute. I am going to add some back on there. So if it's something you want to do, I am actually going to, well, I'm aiming to anyway. I'm going to get a little video out there just to show you, if you've never done it before, how to prep and what all the numbers are and where your tiles are going to go. And I know some of you actually use a piece of cardstock and don't use the tiles, and that's fine too. I know, Chris, I know that some of them are class, but I think I'm also a hobby maker and Sewing Street next month, and a couple of times, and I've also all sorts of things going on. But I'll find 10 minutes in the day somewhere, even if I'm on the go, on the road somewhere. I can always stop and do a quick session. I'm actually on holiday as well next month for a week, so I think that week I might, because I've got a couple of spares for us to get to 400 for New Year, so I might actually sort of not do our regular tile for that week, but carry on with the Craftember tiny ones. But we'll see. Okay. And round we go. And it's just nice to put bubbles in, isn't it? And I think if we didn't, you might lose these little sort of shapes we're creating. It gets a little confusing, so putting these in just means I'm going to fill that. You can see where you've been with it. There you go. See, the last one. Okay, next one. So I think this is probably the last one. So again, now I've got to decide what I'm doing there because my bubbles sort of end there. I think I'm going to put a couple in and a little bit of ink, so a bit of a mixture. And then to the next bit. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Oh, Chris, I'm not counting the bubbles. I can't even remember how many bubbles I've drawn. Okay, I'm just going to bring that black pen in just for a moment. I'm not going to fill all of it, but I am going to fill the middle. I want it to look like it's in the distance. And again, this brush just means you can work in and out of those shapes. And follow it round. There you go. I've got a bit of a blackness in the middle. Okay. So if you wanted to, you could colour these sections in as well. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to leave that one as is. And I'm going to come in with my regular pencil. First things first, I'm going to add a little accent on these shapes. Doesn't matter where, just like a little smirk or smile. Imagine two little eyes and they're smiling at you. Doesn't matter which way. I think you've also got to decide, are you going to put colour into this? Do you want to? I think I'm going to add some colour into these flowers here. So I'm going to shade everything else and then I'm going to leave those till later. So pencil on either side of those stripes. Okay. Oh, Chris, I remember those little tins. I still have some of those, I think. They're really nice, aren't they, that you can keep your tiny tiles in? I know. Oh, no, thanks, Sue. Thanks for watching yesterday. I did enjoy it. I enjoy going there. And of course, we got in yesterday. All right, shading. I'm not going to go on the bubbles. I'm going to go to the inside of the bubbles. Okay. So yeah, yesterday we had Keith in there. We had Debbie. Of course, I've known Debbie for a long time now. It was lovely to do a quick catch up with her. And had a chat with Jimmy. He's actually sort of, I'm just going to rub that bit out. I've just got it onto the bubbles. Yeah, Jimmy works sort of behind scenes, you know, on the cameras and setting things up. And he's actually in Scunthorpe on the 9th of September. So I've said to him, come on over. Come and say hello and have a cuppa. So he's put it in his calendar. He says if he can, he's going to come in and say hi. So that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Nice guy. Okay. So I've not done anything with these because I'm going to put colour on. But if you were going to do pencil, then if you put pencil both sides, and then blend it out, which I'm going to do a similar thing with the coloured pencils anyway. So, okay. Here we go then. First things first, let's do these. I'm going to come in and soften round that pencil line. Alright, little swirls, just to get it going, you see. Louise, no, I didn't see Nigel yesterday. He's not there till Monday. I have spoken with him. We've had a phone conversation. So that's really nice. That was earlier this week. I know, he's on Monday, isn't he, with Craig and the other Debbie. And yeah, let's do all of these first. Let's sort of prolong it a little bit and make it work. Okay. There you go. And around. And this one. You see how it just sort of It swirls and it starts to move it about a little bit. I think I could do with actually filing my tortilla off as well. Yeah, I don't have a file in my little folder, but I can sort that later. It lasts for ages. It's looking a bit sort of ready for a, yeah, ready for a bit of a file. So when I'm doing the sides here, I'm going to try, if I can, leave a little bit of a highlight in the middle, see? So darker on the edge, softer on the inside. Round we go. And again, if you wanted to, you could have filled these in, you could have coloured it in black. But I think it's nice to have that little bit of contrast. There we go, see? They're quite small, so they don't really need much work there. And same with this one. See how it sort of softens it all. Just remove those sort of lines. And the next one. There you go. Sort of turn it around. And along. See how that sort of works along. And this one real small. There we go. So that's sort of our outside. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, so far so good. So looking at our stripes, I don't want to sort of move it too much. I want to keep that centre bit. So shading on either side. Into that one. And that one. And you notice this time I'm not coming around with circles, I'm going back and forth, up and down, to keep that close to where it is. Okay, so there's a couple of things you can do with this now. You can go in with the white pencil, or you can, on this occasion, use a white gel pen. So, is my Jelly Roll, my 08. Yeah, just for a difference. Because you've got to make sure it works. Always do a test, because what you want to do is get a completely straight line through the whole thing. And you don't want to be going back and forth with it if you can help it. A single line makes all the difference. So it might be better if you're not sure, starting from the point, coming out. Yeah. And then from the point, it's completely out. Okay, see that? And then this bit in the middle, just put some little white dots. And of course, if you've lost any of your little dots around the outside, you can come back in. They can add a little bit of shape in. You can just neaten them up a bit if you need to. There you go. Little stars in there. Okay. Oh, that was me knocking it. So, okay, colour-wise, let's get the tin of pencils out. I'm going to have a look at what's sharpest, because I've not got my sharpener out yet. And okay, we've got a bit of a bit of light orange wandering off there. We've got some other light red. There we go. Let's have a look. Definitely white. And we've got here a bit of mid-orange. Do I need a mid-orange? And oh, Sanntangle red. So here we go. This is my colours. Yeah, but you can use whatever you like. You don't even have to use colour if you don't want to. But let's come in and do a little bit with this. So let's start with, so I'm going to start with the white and put a line straight down the middle. See? Now, it might not be completely clear to you, but I know it's there. And, oh, there we go. It's going to make me remember that I need to put a highlight in there. All right. So, let's do it a different way today. I'm going to start with this, the lightest colour, which is light orange. And I'm going to work close to that white. And add a little bit in. I'm sort of blending it as I go, see? do that on all of them, so I can feel it when it goes over that white, so I'm not going to go completely over it. I'll work my way around. See? And it doesn't matter about getting to the end because I know I'm going to bring another colour in, so I just want to do some in the middle there. Again, not pressing on completely, just sort of adding a little bit in there, see? Okay. So then if I bring my light red, and let's put some towards that top edge. Again, don't worry too much about blending it at the minute. It's going to do that. We can work that out in a minute. Top and bottom, and again, that's the darkest bits where you'd put the pencil. And add those bits in. And next one. So you can see at the moment mine's a little bit streaky. Of course, when you look at yours, you won't see it this close up, but I think it's nice that you see that. I'm going to bring that light orange back in. Let's see, work over the top. Yeah, and again, I'm not pressing on particularly, but I know where that light is, so I'm not going over it. I'm working it in from the red into the orange I put there before. Maureen, yes, I would use the lightest colour underneath you can. Or if you were doing like this, like a red colour, you could do a yellow underneath it. Just keep it a light colour or a neutral, and it works brilliantly. Honestly, it does. Even if you do a practice first, I actually used to do that all the time. So on those images you saw yesterday, there is probably pencil over the top as well. Okay, let's bring my white back in. And, let's go in that middle bit. Okay. So I'm going to bring my Sanntangle red in now. Add some to the bottom. I'm not going to try and blend this too much. I just want them sort of on the tips there, you see? Because it's quite sharp, it means I can do that. I can get right in and add a little bit of darkness to it. That's what we want. Right. On this one. So there's lots of ways of colouring and adding layers. You know, you've got to do what's right for you. So just a little bit of that red back in, just a little bit of light red. See, it's almost like I'm breaking up that edge. Because at the moment it looks a little bit, you know, you've got a definite line where that Sanntangle red was. Back in with that orange. Just to sort of help it on its way. Okay, and the white. Back in. See, now it's sort of not a precise sort of colouring, is it? Because it's petals and we're blending the colours. So I'm just going to bring one more in. I'm going to bring in, let's have a look, my purple gem. And what I'm going to do is add a touch at the bottom there. See how it's darkened that bit up? Around. And there. We go. I think the other thing I'm going to do, bring a bit of green in. What have I got here? Oh, let's use the khaki. I'm going to add some into those. I'm not going to worry too much about blending or making sure the colour's completely covered with these. I'm going to add just a little bit. It's just like a gesture, a little hint of what we can add in. Just a little bit there. So don't sort of, you know, overdo it. They're just sort of there. We know they're there. And being that I've got the pencils out, let's bring in my black. I'm going to do, remember these? Let's add a little bit to the edges. All right. Now you've got to make sure that your pencils are sharp for this. Still a little bit on that edge. Last one. There we go. See, I've gone over that a little bit. So what I can do is bring in my white gel pen and go over the top of it. There you go. Looks like it never did it. All right, let's have a look at this. There you go. So I think one more thing. I'm going to bring a little bit of pencil in. See, we've got these little shapes here. Just adding a little bit there and there. Just if you can. See, I'm not going to worry about that bit. Just a little hint. And soften it out. So it just gives it a little bit of shadow. There's a little bit there. There we go. And there it is, 371. So let's put our initials on that. Oh, there we go. And there's another one done and sorted. So, okay. Back to normal on Tuesday next week if you're wanting to do the next tile with me, 2 o'clock as normal, Tuesdays and Fridays. Tomorrow though, if you're into your sewing, on the Sanntangle Facebook page, I'll be working on the Scandi Christmas quilt. Having said that, it depends what fabrics you use. It's because it's the tangling's all hearts. So if you want to just come and watch and see how we do the tangling, you don't have to do it on fabric. You can come and join. You're more than welcome. So, okay, I'll leave you with this one then. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you may be doing. And I'll catch you at some point in the week. So, okay, have a great one, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.